आप सभी का बहुत बहुत स्वागत है। यूटीआई म्यूचुअल फंड इन पार्टनरशिप विद सीएनबीसी आवाज प्रेजेंट्स उड़ान आरवी कॉलेज ऑफ इंजीनियरिंग में। उड़ान एक ऐसी जर्नी है जहां क्यूरोसिटी जो है वो क्रिएटिविटी में बदलती है और जो आइडियाज है वो एक इम्पैक्ट क्रिएट करते हैं। ये प्लेटफॉर्म है उन यंग माइंड्स के लिए जो सोचना चाहते हैं डेफिनेटली कुछ नया, और साथ ही साथ कुछ अलग भी जो इस दुनिया में हमने पहले नहीं देखा। आज का जो हमारा पहला सेशन है वो भी स्टार्टअप स्टोरीज ही है। ये कहानी है उन लोगों की जिन्होंने सपना तो देखा लेकिन सपने को पूरा भी किया। एक आइडिया उनके दिमाग में आया लेकिन वो आइडिया केवल आइडिया तक नहीं रहा, वो आइडिया से एक एंटरप्राइज तक का जो सफर है वो भी पूरा होता हुआ हमने देखा। और इस इंस्पायरिंग डिस्कशन को लीड करेंगे नन अदर देन सीएनबीसी आवाज से विपिन भट्ट।
Aditi, starting with you. Imbibe, edutech startup, and वैसे बहुत सारे हैं देश के अंदर, बट सबका अपना अपना एक कहानी है कि क्यों वो स्टार्ट हुआ। वैसे तो हमने भी इंटरनेट पे आपकी एक कहानी पढ़ी, बट मुझे नहीं पता वो कितनी सच है और कितनी नहीं। वो आईआईटी वाली कहानी, सम केमिस्ट्री पेपर्स एंड एक्सेट्रा। बट आपको ये आइडिया कहाँ से आया? कहाँ से आपको लगा कि ये कोई गैप है जो मुझे फिल करना है?
सबसे पहले, before the idea comes another four-letter word called the urge. And then the urge seeks the idea. And then the idea, you try to rationalize with friends and family. And some people will say it's good, some people will say it's bad. But then the urge gets so strong that you just choose the idea. As far as the idea is concerned, education and healthcare were two spaces I chose because मुझे हेल्थ केयर थोड़ा सा स्कैरी लगता था, मुझसे इंजेक्शन टॉलरेट नहीं होता अभी भी। सो आई वेंट टूवर्ड्स एजुकेशन। और जब कोई आप एक आइडिया चूज़ करते हो, एक स्पेस चूज़ करते हो, तो अपने अनुभव साथ में जुड़ जाते हैं। तो माई फादर, आई लॉस्ट हिम इन 2020 and he signed a certificate that he's physically handicapped to get me admission in the branch that would make me successful in Thapar University. And that is that feeling of, you know, seeing your IRS officer, dashing father who had a love marriage, acknowledge that weakness just to get you admission was an emotional hit. And I think that fueled the passion.
Manoj, your roots also from IIT Hyderabad, right? But आपका बिल्कुल ही एक दूसरा, it's about new, छोटे बच्चों को लेकर एक स्टार्टअप है. It's entirely different from what Aditi is doing. तो वो आइडिया कैसे स्ट्राइक किया कि बिल्कुल न्यू बॉर्न्स के लिए मुझे कुछ करना है?
I knew I wanted to do something in the healthcare space because throughout engineering, I was driven by this fact saying that if you want to do something impactful, there were few sectors. Healthcare was kind of the one that attracted me the most because of the exposure I had. Most of my projects, my final thesis, everything was in the biomedical domain. I studied electronics and telecommunication, but mostly in the biomedical domain. So there was that inclination towards that. But the tougher thing was saying, how do you solve a problem or what problem to solve? The easier thing for me as an engineer was how to build. The what to build was something that I was looking out for, and that's when I went to the Center for Healthcare Entrepreneurship at IIT Hyderabad, where a very unique course where we shadowed doctors, designers, engineers, went and shadowed doctors to understand what are the problems in healthcare. A typical 6-month long immersion process. We knew we wanted to build in a population which was vulnerable, the ones which needed it the most. Newborns was the go-to because they can't even express what their problem is. They can cry, but nobody really understands what that is. So when we shadowed this journey, we started realizing saying where a baby is born determines the baby's chance of survival. This was very alarming for us. When we went to the rural settings, they were putting all the efforts, but there was a heavy load. There was not enough equipments that were available. There was a parity of healthcare. If the same premature baby was born maybe in a developed setting, the baby would have a higher chance. So this health inequality was what kind of triggered us saying, can we use engineering and design to solve this problem? And that led us to starting the journey of NemoCare. It was understanding a problem from the field.
Every company needs money to survive and to run. And now you choose such a niche where your customer may be farmers or some people like that, जहाँ उतना awareness नहीं है, वो हो सकता है उतना tech advance भी नहीं है. So how difficult for you to establish yourself and to convince those people, okay, I have something for you, you can pay me for that.
Right. So our focus was farmers. You're absolutely to the point, and especially the maize farmers. I'll give you the numbers. Maize farmers own around 3 acres on an average in India, around India, so which means they are small holders, and this is a arid and semi-arid regions, dry regions of the country parts, which means they have around 60,000 per annum profit to run the whole family for the whole year. So that's the numbers that we have. So the challenge was to, when we go and talk to them, there was no way that they're going to give you 1 rupee, because there's no 1 rupee even there to spend on the tech. So we started to shift to large-scale farmers in maize. They have their own challenges, and then there's a lot of local hoarding of maize, which is sold in the market with an up price. So that's the second problem we have encountered. The successful one turned out to be the model of FPOs, farmer producer organizations. In a quick background about FPOs, are the group of farmers come together, they form a company, and then they run it as a company. These are called as FPOs mainly because they don't have to pay the taxes. There are some rebates in terms of government is concerned. It's a company by itself. So there are educated or tech savvy or tech adaptable CEOs, directors. So they picked up this tech. And after that, we started choosing those FPOs through the universities and NABARD, which refinance them for their salaries till 3 years. So we chose only FPOs who are showing positive numbers.
Thank you. And big round of applause to these three and all of you. Thank you.
अर्ली इन्वेस्टमेंट से कितने सारे फायदे होते हैं, अभी आपको वो बहुत ही जल्द समझ में आने वाला है. इस पे लाइट डालने के लिए हमारे साथ है मिस्टर सिद्धार्थ दास, जोनल हेड UTI म्यूचुअल फंड. सो लेट्स वेलकम हिम.
Managing finances is a very, very important life skill that we all need to get imbibe in ourselves, right? It's good to work, good to earn money, but it's also important how to manage the money. So all of you are getting educated right now, right? All of you are engineering students, you are getting educated. It's going to be a means to all of you. It's going to be a means to probably follow a passion, okay? It might be a means to get into a profession. Education would be a means to get into, might be a business that you want to start. You know, something like the fine arts, maybe into, modeling, right? These are passions. But passions also require money. After doing all of this, the idea is that you create for yourself, which should help you in your future. So that reservoir is what we are looking at to create in our working life, which will help us manage our cash flows in the future, right? The bigger the reservoir, the faster we are able to create the reservoir, we are able to achieve fire. And what is fire? Financial independence and retire early. Good. However, what is important is how many of us have actually done 15,000 per month for 25 years and got to 2.8 crores? Very few. The actual reality is we are in the mutual fund industry. We have done a lot of sessions on financial planning. Actually, very few people have actually followed this and come to a corpus of 2.8 crores. What is the reason for that? The reason is simple: we lack discipline. I'm going to give you some examples just to illustrate how beginning as early as possible is going to help you in your wealth creation journey. Now let's take an illustrative example. Let's say a person is born and we are looking at year 0, and we look at retirement, let's say at about 60, when most of us would aspire to retire after generating a reasonable amount of corpus, right? If you look at this period of 60 years and if you look at a compounding rate of 9% at an investment of only 10,000 rupees per month over 60 years, at a compounding annual rate of only 9%, you are creating a corpus of almost 28 crores. Okay? At 9%, you are at 28 crores in 60 years. What the corpus would be if the time period is the same, but the compounding rate is increased to 12%. This is also important. 63 times in USD, 112 times in INR. This again is an important factor because you look at currencies, how the currencies have given returns of. That is another aspect to be looked at. Again, if you look at a Maruti car, a Maruti Alto in 2003, cost about 3 lakhs, currently probably would be selling off at about 15,000 bucks, which is a reduction of almost 20 times. Whereas if you look at a Maruti Suzuki share, which was trading at 3 lakhs, would have bought it at 3 lakhs, you could have earned, you could be at roughly about 3 crores as of now in terms of the value of the shares, which is about 103 times. So financial independence, retire early is what we are all aspiring to. We need to ensure that we plan ourselves. All of you are at a very, very important stage in life. Once you start earning, it is important that you have the necessary skills, aptitude to ensure that you save, invest properly so that you can create a wealth. Thank you for being a patient audience and all the very best to all of you.
अब आपके भी यहाँ पे काफ़ी सारे क्वेश्चंस होंगे कि मेरे पास तो पैसे ही नहीं है, इन्वेस्टमेंट कहाँ से करूँ? इन सभी चीज़ों के अब हम आंसर करने वाले हैं और इस सेशन में वंस अगेन मैं सिद्धार्थ को स्टेज पे बुलाना चाहूँगी और साथ ही साथ हमारे साथ जुड़े हैं यहाँ पे यूटीआई म्यूचुअल फंड से नितिन जी प्लीज कम ऑन स्टेज. सबसे पहले Ahana, do we have Ahana?
As a first-time investor, like who's very new to all these concepts, so what would you say is a practical way to shortlist your funds, like without getting overwhelmed and confused?
The first and foremost thing that one needs to look at is set a goal. Okay? What are your goals? Investment goals are very important because once you have a goal, then you will have a step-by-step approach as to how to achieve that goal. Now, in investments, what we try to break up these goals are into short, medium, and long term, right? Now, depending on the tenure of the goal, there are various parameters with respect to risk, with respect to returns that one needs to keep in mind while looking at the investment.
So there are many products available in the market. Some are simpler products, some are complex products. So as a beginner, it's easy to start with a simpler product. So yeah.
So my question is that how can a first-time investor avoid common mistake of chasing short-term firms?
Just take out the notion of short-term returns. When we are looking at basic investing, we are looking as investors to generate long-term corpus. Please avoid the concept of making money in a very short term, right? Because there will be a lot of enticements that you will get, and it's very easy to fall into those gaps.
I would like to ask that do you see AI and other robo-advisors replacing the human fund advisors who are currently working?
These AI models work on past data, what you feed them. So what input goes in, the outcome comes out. So the experience layer or the experience quality or the subjective inputs which go into it, those are the things which can come from human. So maybe AI can be a good tool to assist us, but at this point of time, we don't think that it can replace us.
These are tools to enhance productivity, analyze data, and we are having products coming into the markets which are using a lot of data, right? But the final, experience of a fund manager, knowing the nuances of the markets is very critical when we develop a product.
अब हम एक काफ़ी ज़्यादा इंटरेस्टिंग सेशन जो है, आप सेशन बोलिए, ये आपका फेवरेट सेशन हो सकता है, वो बोलिए. इस कॉन्वर्सेशन के लिए हमारे साथ है डॉक्टर के सुब्रमण्या, प्रिंसिपल ऑफ आरवी कॉलेज ऑफ इंजीनियरिंग, एक ऐसे लीडर जिन्होंने इस इंस्टीट्यूशन को एक्सीलेंस और इनोवेशन के साथ गाइड किया है. और इसी के साथ मैं CNBC आवाज़ से विपिन भट्ट जी को भी एक बार वापस से स्टेज पे वेलकम करना चाहूँगी.
as a principal, how do you ensure that RBC's leadership philosophy remain grounded and in ethical principle while fostering an innovative and ecosystem that prepares students for future disruption like AI and sustainability?
RV College of Engineering per se is a 60 years old institution, and this has been built on a lot of values because the whole trust and the school system was started by a freedom fighter and a school teacher. So obviously in 1940s it was started, and a strong value systems have been built. So this system may not depend on the individuals who come and go here, because a strong system has been built from the primary education to the secondary education to the tertiary education. So we have totally 27 institutions across the trust, and we have more than 30,000 students, maybe around 3,000 faculty, and lot of people have worked. They are working now, future people are going to come. So in that way, whole trust itself depends on the lot of value system, and it has been built on a philanthropic concept. So obviously, individuals, if they try to do some small mistakes also, system is always greater than individuals, and it is going to correct the system and the individuals also. So in that way, the leadership style has been borrowed from the past also, because we had very good leaders in the institution. So I may not do mistakes there. So in that way, the strong value system, what is built across over the period of time, has been definitely taken into consideration. Let us say people are talking about AI. So you have to definitely move in the path of AI. That does not mean leave the moral values. So I think these are the two faces of the same coin. You have to look into it.
On many platforms, it was said that Indian entrepreneurs, especially the tech entrepreneurs, are not generating the kind of entrepreneurship which we saw in like country like US or any other country. They made Google, they made Facebook, or something which is path breaking. We are just aggregator kind of companies. We are riding a taxi, startup, make you shopping a kirana thing on your startup. So the thing is that is our curriculum, is a study curriculum is not of that quality, that we are not so innovative in doing a kind of innovation what we saw in other countries, kind of startup coming there. Is the lack of, it's a kind of a curriculum we are lacking in, or there is something else?
See, first of all, what happens if you take entrepreneurship, it is a mindset. I think that's the fundamental thing. And at least in this part of South India, we feel that we are all very comfortable working for others. I think that has been there for a long time. And even our parents, if I ask somebody here, how many want to become an entrepreneur? They may be ready. Then they go back, ask their parents, they may not accept. I think that's the first family kind of a thing which you have to look into, the entrepreneurial skills. The second part is that obviously our education system was not tuned to this kind of a thing for a long time, because we followed a mechanized education system which was totally memory based, and it was not happening. But astonishingly, I find even in our college only, in 1960s and 70s, people who have studied, there are no campus placements during those times. You have to search for your job. I think that's our time we have found more entrepreneurs from our college than today. And obviously in Bengaluru, I'm sure people sitting here will have a lot of avenues to work in a startup, because it is a startup capital. I think things are slowly changing it. I think it is not related to innovation at all. If you take a startup in Stanford also, there are a lot of Indians there. Okay, maybe the ecosystem was not provided here. Now the ecosystem is coming up. I am sure that we are going to have a lot of good entrepreneurs like Google. Maybe next 5 to 10 years, they've already predicted, and I hope it is going to happen in India.
I wish you all the very best, and thank you very much, sir, for
Thank you.
this insightful talk.
आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस इस टाइम पे काफी बड़ा पार्ट हमारी लाइफ का बन गया है। इंडिया दुनिया भर में किस तरीके से लीड करे अपने खुद के एआई सॉल्यूशन को, और इस कॉन्वर्सेशन को गाइड करने के लिए वंस अगेन प्लीज वेलकम विपिन भट्ट फ्रॉम CNBC आवाज, और उनके साथ स्टेज पर है अंकुश सबरवाल, फाउंडर ऑफ bharatgpt.ai एंड coreover.ai. Let's welcome them both with a big round of applause.
AI is, जैसा कि हमारा टॉपिक भी है, is a threat और boon. डरना चाहिए उससे, और that will be helpful to us.
I think we have to be optimistic, isn't it? So we should always think it's an opportunity. And so far, whatever we have seen, it's more of opportunity than threats. Even if there are threats, they're not for us. okay, for you, right? You all are young people. किसी की अगर जॉब चली गई है तो मे बी वो अपने मिड लाइफ में होगा. You are
Then
just
Ankush,
young.
sorry to interrupt you in between. Then why this big leader like Bill Gates and others are keep talking like हमें डॉक्टर की जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी, हमें टीचर की जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी, हमें इसकी जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी. ये तो डराने वाली बात हुई ना.
Yeah, I think he's trying to say be efficient, understand this. It's okay to believe, it's easy to be replaceable so that we work hard, get more knowledge and do. See, अगर AI डिपेंडेबल है, मुझे आपको अगर आप सोचो कि कोई भी इन्वेंशन और डिस्कवरी नहीं हुई होती, सिर्फ AI होता, तो क्या एरोप्लेन बन सकता था, क्या व्हील बन सकता था, क्या वैक्सीन बन सकती थी, क्या इंडिया डिस्कवर हो सकता था, क्या जीरो डिस्कवर हो सकता था. आई थिंक द इन्वेंशन एंड डिस्कवरीज विच यू हैव सीन, दे वर विद द क्वांटम लीप. द ओल्ड डेटा would not have helped.
When we talk of AI, where did India stand right now? या अभी भी हमें किसी अमेरिकन कंपनी या चाइनीज कंपनी पे डिपेंड होना होगा?
प्रॉब्लम ये है कि आप अच्छे से प्रॉब्लम नहीं ढूंढ रहे हैं हम, राइट? वी आर जस्ट लॉस्ट विद व्हाट अदर्स आर डूइंग. हमारी कंपटीशन, जॉब, कोई भी प्रॉब्लम ढूंढो, उसको सॉल्व करो. चाहे चैट जीपीटी सॉल्व करता है, चाहे गूगल करता है, चाहे भारत जीपीटी करता है, चाहे आरवी जीपीटी करता है, राइट? आई थिंक फर्स्ट इज व्हाट वी वांट टू अचीव. पर्पस क्या है, क्या प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व कर रहे हो, देन हाउ डज इट मैटर. हमने खाना खाना है, अब खाना सस्ते में खाना है, इजी से खाना है, चाहे इंडिया की कंपनी को दे दे, चाहे बाहर की कंपनी में दे दे. सो आई थिंक important is the purpose, goal, objectives, what you want to achieve, and then whatever is helping you solve it, do it. फिर देखो कि यार चैट जीपीटी बाहर का है, महंगा है, या हमें खुद बनाना चाहिए. That should be the later step. First solve the problem fast, whatever means available to you, and then you try to optimize it.
Thank you very much for listening to us, and thank you Ankush for coming all the way for
Absolutely.
this.
Pleasure talking to you on this.
यूटीआई म्यूचुअल फंड प्रेजेंट सीएनबीसी आवाज उड़ान सेशन की हम एंड पे आ गए हैं. एक बड़ा थैंक यू टू सभी स्पीकर्स, साथ ही साथ आप सभी स्टूडेंट्स, टीचर को भी जो इतनी देर तक हमारे साथ बने रहे, जो भी आपकी क्वेरीज थी, और हमारे पार्टनर डेफिनेटली यूटीआई म्यूचुअल फंड को, जिनके सपोर्ट से ये जो इवेंट है इतना ज़्यादा एंगेजिंग हुआ है. थैंक यू सो मच फॉर ज्वाइनिंग अस टुडे.
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme-related documents carefully.
म्यूचुअल फंड निवेश बाजार के जोखिमों के अधीन है. योजना से जुड़े सभी दस्तावेजों को ध्यान से पढ़ें.